Hello everybody, this is Phonito Bob here. Welcome to race number 13 of the 2020-21 NROL Siemens National Series season. This is the Telstra 180 at Sandown International Raceway. It's week number 2 of the stretch down under, and the Siemens National Series taking to the first time, first of 2 races down under. And they're taking track for the first time, of course, today at the Sandown International Raceway. So, this has been a quite interesting season so far for the Siemens National Series, so let's see how it goes for the first of 2 races for them down under. And with that being said, let's get the started good for this race. Starting the pole for this one is Justin Allgaier along... starting on the pole for this one is Justin Allgaier. Alongside the second is Damon Blue. Third is Matthew Brown. Fourth is Austin Cindric. Fifth is Anthony Alfredo. Sixth is Cody Goforth. Seventh is Sebastian Coquelin. Eighth is Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Ninth is Jose Mills. 10th is Chase Briscoe. 11th is Henry. 12th is John Doe. 13th is Ross Stain. 14th is Tyler Tomasi. 15th is Michael Lynette. 16th is Ed Wood. 17th is Anthony Logan. 18th is Shane Lamb. 19th is Harrison Burton. 20th is Greg Graff. 21st is Casey Yanko. 22nd is Riley Herbst. 23rd is Hugo Expos. 24th is Freedom Exchange. 25th is Fronito Bobbin. 26th is Noah Gregson. 27th is Keith Ruchin. 20th is Nathan Ramon. 29th is Ryan Sieg. 30th is Brandon Jones. 31st is Rebecca. 32nd is Austin Murray. 33rd is Justin Haley. 34th is Brian Priest. 35th is Russell David. 36th is Bob Hunter. 37th is A. Jumdinger. 38th is Ernie Urban. 39th is G.G. Reed. And 40th is Mike Snyder. Alright. So once again, down a couple positions because we're at another track where the field limit is 40 cars. 40 cars. But, you know, it's only 2 less than normal, so... You know, really missed out I can't drive, and one of the RSS racing cars isn't here this week either, but that's okay. Not like can't drive would have really contributed to anything in this race anyway, and that RSS racing car isn't competing points anyway, so no real loss. Still should make for an interesting race. So we come to yet another road course down under. This time, of course, Sandown. It's a different track, different challenges, but should lead to an interesting race. I will say last weekend's race, the Cup Series at Winton, wasn't the most interesting race in the world. You know, we didn't really see any passing on track, but now that we're at a different track, things should be more interesting. Another thing that's more interesting is Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He's probably one of the few drivers that feels right at home here because, you know, he drives for his own team, which is the Zachary Fitzwater Racing, I think it was. Or Fitzwater Australia Racing, I forget the name, but yeah, Fitzwater Australia Racing, so they've even got an Australian sponsor, as you may have noticed, so that's one of the few teams, like I said, that feels right at home at this track. Everyone else, however, a long way from home. Like, we're not even in the States anymore. We're all the way down under, as you know. On that note, however, just because we're in a totally different place doesn't mean things are going to be too different from norm as far as road racing anyway. I mean, these drivers have been on a few road races now. I mean, you know, they raced at Willow Springs, the season opener, then the Pensacola road course. I think that's it, actually, as far as road races for the season. Yeah, that's all I could think of anyway. There might have been another road course somewhere in the series that I forgot about, but that's the 2 I know of. I think that's the only 2 that these guys have raced at anyways. Whatever, it's a road race for them, and it should be an interesting one. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, this time by, pace car is going to pull off. Dane Blue's going to lead off the field. And green flag is in the air for the Telstra 180 at Sandown International Raceway. Narrows off to a flying start on this straightaway. Look how fast, 150 miles per hour. I didn't expect the field to be this fast, but this is a pretty long straightaway, so it's probably to be expected. Anyway, Dave Blue going to lead them off. Austin Cindric, though, trying to stay behind. Austin Cindric looking for another road win. But Dave Blue going to lead them to start this one. Alright. Oh, Dave Blue, the overruns this corner. Austin Cindric going to steal the spot here. Now he slows up. Dave Blue going to get the spot back into now actually side by side on this straightaway. Dan Blue trying to hold him up, but Austin Cindric as well holding his ground. Just Allgaier, who has had a atrocious season trying to keep up with his guys too. They're going quite fast into this corner here. Cindric might be able to outbreak Damon Blue, though. It's still side by side going to the S's here. But Cindric, though, looks like he's going to pull out to the lead. Snallguy, though, trying to keep up with the pack as well. Now they're going to go under the bridge here. Phil's starting to single file out after the craziness that was the start of that race. And also Cindric is going to lead the opening lap here at Sandown. I think you can actually hit higher speeds at this track than you could at what was it, Winton. Okay, well the field's starting to settle down now as Cindric overruns the corner, hits the wall, and Damon Blue gonna go. Oh, he's past. Oh dearie me, Damon Blue and this longer getting into a bit of a kerfuffle as Cindric gonna lose the spot. This Snallguy, though, keeping behind Damon Blue. Might be the most tricky corner on the track. You know, drivers last weekend at Winton, they overrun the second corner. That might be one of those corners where drivers just happen to overrun because lack of experience. You know. Of course, this is a new circuit for all these drivers, so they're having to adapt to a new challenge. Dan Blue, however, going to lead them this time by. So we're not going to see much passing on this long straightaway, though. Oh, well. You never really see passing on straightaways at road courses, do you? Unless, of course, the guy behind happens to get a good enough run, which is... it's not the most common thing in the world. Dan Blue will overrun this corner. Oh, he goes a bit wide. Stays on track. And keeps his position, actually. Matthew Brown, though, he's got a piece... Or trying to get a piece of just Snallguy. Matthew Brown, who we haven't seen much of this season, he's now come up here, trying to challenge for a spot and just Snallguy. That corner, though, might be the only passes on this track. It seems everywhere else the drivers just... The track isn't quite wide enough. But such is the life of racing on to these road courses. So no real position change this time by, although it seems the position change is happening in the middle of the field. Yeah. There really doesn't seem to be much passing. Dave Blue once again is going to overrun the corner, but so does Allgaier. That's going to allow Matthew Brown to pick up a spot. And Cindric all the way into the wall. Oh dear. Well, we still get to have a second repeat winner in the series. Casey Endicott, the only repeat winner. So how long until we see an overtake from, or a win from someone else that's won before? Well, right now nobody in prime position, as these top four still get to win a race this season. Dan Blue, though, doing a pretty good job at leading this field. Leading this race, I should say. Top four is actually broken away from the rest of the field. We saw quite a few field separation, back at Winton. As long as they're going to pick up a spot for a second on Matthew Brown. Some drivers, though, seem to be overshooting that corner worse than others, but at least for the top four, no serious problems for now. And here comes Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Bit of a home race for him, running up in the top 5. We'll see if he can translate that to a win, but... Well, yeah, see if he translates that to a win. Still quite a ways to go. So Dan Blue picking up, or what, leading the lap. He's not really picking up anything right now, I should say. But he's out there in front doing the best that he can. So Dan Blue trying to score his first win of the season. Allgaier running pretty well today. First performance has been really that good from Allgaier that we've seen this season. As he overruns the corner, or overshoots the corner. Actually, most guys up here, were 3 out of the 4 in the top 4, happen to be, guys that came in through the NRL. Allgaier, he's the only driver up here that raced in the last season. Dan Blue has done a pretty good job at leading this race since he first took the lead. While considering bend into the corner. So first, there might have some shades of Winton. There hasn't been too much passing for the lead. There's been some passing amongst top 4, but that's only because, someone keeps overrunning the, this corner here. As Dan Blue overruns it by a lot. Whoops. Although Sebastian Coquelin, oh dear, Sebastian Coquelin, look at that again. He just absolutely destroyed this corner. He was up here, but he's going to lose a lot of ground here. Meanwhile, Matthew Brown now on a side-by-side battle with Dan Blue to try to take the lead away from him. So they're going to be side-by-side going to this corner. Maybe. If Matthew Brown can send it. It looks like he will send it. Yeah, he sends it to the corner. Actually, Dan Blue might lose a couple spots here. As just an Allgaier going to gain a spot. No, they're still trying. Side by side on the straight, although Dan Blue might get the run off for this corner here. Just look about for third. Allgaier might lose out here. Unless he can send it into this, to the first corner. He might. No, he's going to tuck him behind Dan Blue for now. He's going to wait to pounce a little bit later. Granted, it is a little bit early in the race to be doing any sort of crazy maneuvers or anything like that. And there he goes. That's no guy makes his way around Dan Blue. Not quite. It's still side by side. For now. Nope. Dan Blue gonna lose out. Yeah. And just an old guy actually overtakes Dan Blue for the lead. Or for second. Matthew Brown, though, he's now taking the lead. So Matthew Brown currently leaded by second and a half over Allgaier and the others. How long can he keep it up for? Actually makes the score quite clean this time, although Allgaier bends it. And Damon Blue up the second. Well, Zachary Fitzgerald Sr. Remember what I was saying about him feeling right home? Well, Yuri is now running in fourth. Bit of a gap to the leader, but it's feeling generous since he's pretty spread out. Allgaier trying to keep up with Damon Blue. It's such a quite interesting battle for second. It's really that one corner. That double 90-degree turn is the place where everyone makes the overtakes. Otherwise, it seems to be a bit of a challenge to overtake anywhere else on this track. Hmm. Yeah. Ooh, then blue runs wide. Nice doing a side-by-side battle once again. Hmm. Yeah. We're in a much state, to be honest. Matthew Brown actually pulling out to a pretty big lead on Dame Blue and just Allgaier. Hmm. Let me see how much longer that Matthew Brown can keep up this lead in this race. This corner here seems to be the most challenging and really the one place where we see all the overtakes. No overtakes there though. Feels actually pretty smooth through that corner. And Matthew Brown continued to pull away with quite a big lead over the rest of these drivers. Yeah, not much to report as of right now. As Matthew Brown continues to extend his lead. I don't know, he's losing a little bit on Dame Blue and just Allgaier. He was like a bit toward senior now trying to keep up with these guys. Matthew Brown continuing. It seems some guys get this corner better than others. It's just Allgaier once again trading positions with Damon Blue. That being said, this is the top 3. And there's a 5 points difference as far as points you will earn amongst top 5. So whoever finishes above the other guy in this, for second and third is going to earn 5 extra points. So Allgaier, he's going to earn 5 points more than what Damon Blue would earn based on where they're running. So Allgaier trying to save his season because Allgaier, he's been really bad this season, like really bad. And he wasn't that great last season either, but this season's been atrocious. So now he's trying everything he can to come back, but this could also very well be a one-off performance. You never know. And Dame Blue, Dame Blue! Ooh, that's a first we've seen today. Dame Blue steps out. And sitting back here, actually, as Sebastian Coquelin trying to get past Jacob Fitzwater Sr. As these, Sebastian Coquelin was actually up here. He was up here with the top 4 until he binned that corner. And, yeah, he's trying to get back up through the field. I was wondering why that's a bit of a skip. I think my mouse is having a little bit of a malfunction. Anyways. So it's Allgaier and Dame Blue for second and third. Anybody behind, not much of a match, unless these guys have some big action or something. Dame Blue once again, same mistake as earlier. Back end steps out. Went to that pretty troublesome corner. Man, the battle still rages on for second. But that said, it seems to be pretty difficult to pass here at Sandown. Man, Matthew Brown doing really good here, which is pulling away. At this point, there's really not much point in reporting on Matthew Brown until he were to, or if he, unless he makes a mistake, of course, which, well, I'm not sure when that would happen. Well, Dim Blue, though, he might be under fire from Zachary Fitzwater Sr., who's now just making his way through the pack. Or drives this corner. Meanwhile, Jose Mills getting into a bit of the action here. Jose Mills, a driver that I've barely spoken about this season, actually. As he is now in a battle with Sebastian Coquelin. Sebastian Coquelin actually gonna let Jose Mills go, as he's going to succeed this spot here. Well, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is still trying to catch up to these two. Pretty far away to get the draft on the front straightaway, so that's not really an option. He's got to rely on these two making a mistake. At least one of them. But all they're able to doing pretty well as of right now. Oh, they actually did this corner pretty well now. Seems all drivers are starting to get a hang of that corner now. It's been 16 laps. We still have quite a few laps remaining in this race. But it is nice to see drivers actually napping in that corner the way that it should be done. Not just plowing into the barrier. Bit of a backfire from Allgaier. But yeah, second and third starting to get a bit spread out. Now, 1-1 is if we'll see green flag pit stops in this race. Well, we are approaching that point in the race where they might just be happening soon. Because if there was pit at the halfway point, there's no need to pit for the rest of the race. Unless, of course, a caution were to come out, which seems to be unlikely. Oh, Dame Blue, he actually did a pretty bad corner. He's actually losing ground now to Justin Allgaier. Matthew Brown has led a number of laps. You know, there's a lot of times beginning to slow down, and the field is also getting more strung out. I think it's because these drivers have been out on these tires, though, and they're just, they're not as fast as they would be if they weren't fresh tires. Looks like that's how it's going to be until we eventually come down pit road. Which might be soon. We're almost at the halfway point in this race. So you never know. Well, if this road racing doesn't suit you, I can't say that next week we will be at a more traditional track. Still in Australia, but a track that's more regular, you might say. Man, a 12-second gap between Matthew Brown and 10th place. Well, this point they're just driving around, I guess. So that's clicking on 6 to get on the spot back on Northern North though. I think. So yeah, really not too much to report, to be completely honest. Yeah, Civ has been one of the less interesting races that we've seen this season. I mean, road racing has never been the best. You know, with these big heavy stock cars. Ooh, Tyler Massey gained a couple spots on some guys. Tyler Massey, I haven't spoken about him lately, but he's now broken into the top 10. And Tyler Tomasi, he's been quite a bit below the expectations of Freund Bomben. It'll be interesting to see if he can rebound today, though. Oh, first bit of lap traffic. Actually, pit stops are now occurring among some of the slower cars. Matthew Brown actually catching up to Anthony Alfredo. Alfredo with a bit of a distance ahead of Matthew Brown, so I don't think he's really in any prime position to get slowed up. Although Alfredo screws up the corner. Yeah. Well, then I'm keen to see what happens when the leaders pit. Well, the other was pretty dicey, but since then, though, it hasn't been the most exciting race in the world. I will admit. We have had better races this season. We've also had, well, we haven't had too many worse races. I mean, the worst, well, we did race at Texas World Speedway. I mean, well, that race was only done in the Cup Series, and it seems actually it was actually pretty entertaining. Yeah, I can't really think of a Siemens Nationals race season that was uninteresting. This is probably the least interesting race that we've had this season in the Siemens Nationals Series. Now, we've been to 2 road courses now. Willow Springs was quite good. Pensacola Road Course was also pretty interesting as well. And yeah, I think those are the only 2 road courses that the series has visited so far. So this is the 3rd road race of the season. And not much is happening. I guess this track being new to a lot of these drivers, they aren't quite sure how to navigate it, so they don't really want to make any stupid mistakes that could potentially cost them the race. Oh, now they got to hang on a second. Maybe they're just waiting for pit stops. Well, some guys in the back, you might see in the background, some drivers are in the pit road. There's still yet to be anyone up front who hits pit road, though. Like, we're still yet to see the leader surrender for pit road. As Anthony Alfredo completely messes up that corner. I think I can put him a lap down for now. You know, RCR recently just finished 1-2 in the Daytona 500. Anthony Alfredo, though, not doing the best to honor that recent historic milestone. So Alfredo, I mean, he's an RCR development driver, but I definitely like to see some more drive out of him. In general, the 21 car really hasn't been up front all that much this season. Like, we're 13 races in. And like I said, this RCR car really hasn't been up front all that much. Not really sure why. Honestly, like, you really the best way he put it to the drivers hasn't been the best. I mean, Anthony Alfredo, he's driven this car a handful of times, hasn't really done anything impressive in it. I mean, he's had a couple decent showings, actually, but none that were really that decisive. And same to Mike Snyder, he's also driven this car a few times and hasn't really done anything with it of significance. Oh, he runs a bit wide there. And actually, here he goes. Matthew Brown now surrenders the lead to make his first pit stop of the day. Just Allgaier follows suit. Matthew Brown on the pit road. A couple guys are staying up, but we're going to stick with the lead pack for now. Matthew Brown exits pit road. Sooner than anyone else, it seems. And Matthew Brown now back on track. Oh, he gets into it with A.J. Allmendinger. A very close call there. That could have ended in a disaster for Matthew Brown. He's doing so well in this race. Last thing he needs is to have it all thrown away. A very dangerous pit road exit by Matthew Brown as he almost gets into A.J. Allmendinger and nearly throws away his race, where still he could have damaged his car and caused a caution. Luckily, Matthew Brown saves it, but that could have ended a whole lot worse had these guys not just been a little bit more careful. Luckily though, no crash for Matthew Brown, and he keeps his lead. Like I said, that could have ended much worse. Like, you approach a couple slower cars. I'm not sure if these guys pitted or something. No, these guys haven't pitted, actually. So right now, Matthew Brown's technically leader, but with some cycling in the pit stops, there's a slightly different score. You have Anthony Logan now being scored first. Both got Riley Herbst from DeBobbin up here, Brandon Jones and Ryan Preece. So we'll see how long until these front runners pit. Yeah, decent amount of cars have actually stayed out this time. Luckily, be the only pit stop of the race, as we're past the halfway point now. Anthony Logan though stays out another lap. And where's Edwood? He's apparently being scored for second, but he's not in second. Where's Edwood? Oh, he's down in fourth. Weird. So back to Anthony Logan. Now I wonder if Lime Trailer is going to become a thing for Matthew Brown. We'll have to wait and see. Mind you, Lime Traffic almost took him out of the race. So I will admit this race hasn't been that interesting. One of the most dull races we've seen this season in the Siemens National Series. Now, some say road races are bad for the series, I mean, the series only visited 2 road courses, but both of those races were good. Unfortunately, for this one, it's a bit of a dud. Now, of course, this is the first of 2 stops down under for the Siemens National Series, but next week we'll be at a more conventional track, so passing shouldn't really be a problem next weekend. This weekend, though, yeah, it's a struggle. Andy Logan actually staying out for a bit of a while. But how long until the inevitable? Unfortunately, you can't do a real Xbox nerd because he's been out now for, I imagine, 27 laps since the start of the race. I like to say unless by some miracle, you know, Anthony Logan does have enough car to make it to the game, but I just don't see it. Just doesn't have enough car. That's not to say anything. Logan probably won't ever win a race. You know, he might win a race this season, but you know, with how much parity there is in this series and all three series, as a matter of fact, it's really a question of, you know, who will win. Andy Logan, though, he hasn't really been a driver of significance this season. I'm sorry to say. I mean, everyone wants to win, but some drivers this season not going to have that luxury. I mean, there's 36 races, but there's 40 drivers. That's not to say these guys won't ever win, but that chance still lingers for some. As for Anthony Logan, well, he may or may not win a race eventually this season. Only time will tell. What's the big question, though? You know, who will win today? I think everyone is going to point at Matthew Brown, though. I guess now we'll see what's happening behind. Here's Riley Herbst, another driver who really hasn't done anything this season. Right, second, thanks to pit cycles. And here you have Fronito Bobbin, who's making his second Siemens Nash Series start of the season. And Fernando wasn't actually quite sure when he was going to make another Siemens Nash Series start, but he said he's going to do it today. After a pretty poor showing last weekend at Renton Motor Raceway, Fernando wants to learn all he can today in preparation for his race tomorrow. And here's Matthew Brown, who's currently stuck behind Brandon Jones. So a couple of GGR pay drivers in top 5. Matthew Brown going to make this pass on Brandon Jones here, as Brandon Jones on older tires than Matthew Brown. But Matthew Brown still, I mean, theoretically could catch up, but that's the thing. These top 3, they're going to have to pit eventually. Like, they can't stay out forever. Unless maybe they do stay out forever. I don't see it happening. I mean, you know, Matthew Brown pitted. If these guys don't pit, though, you know, still an impressive day for Matthew Brown. I mean, he's still going to come in with a 4th. Potentially, he can make up another spot if he can catch up to the other guys behind him. For the might be playing a bit of a strategy here. Luckily, he's putting a strategy into practice for tomorrow's Cup race. So, Fronto Bobbin, of course, didn't have the luxury of the Siemens Nash Series race last weekend, or any companion races last weekend. Or at least no companion races that we know about. You never know. For the moment though, couldn't really, get any race, race environment practice for Winton. Meanwhile, for today, Front Development has an entire race to practice any strategy in preparation for tomorrow's race. So, Freundel Bomben, in the second of 4 Siemens next year starts the season. I should say, Front Development, he was also thinking about making a start in the Goldfish Truck Series, but he decided he's not really going to do that because not too much point. So Front Development is going to just use all 4 of his starts racing in the Siemens Nash Series, starting for his own team. Although he's under fire from Matthew Brown, so if these guys don't pit, Matthew Brown's going to try to get around him anyway. So I've got a regular in the Siemens Nash Series, a rookie, chasing down a veteran in this, in the series. Front Development last year's champion. That being said, Front Development, he really hasn't been that successful this season. He's only got 1 win. Matthew Brown, though, trying his hardest to get past him. As Matthew Brown, he's got fresher tires. Yeah, Matthew Brown probably didn't expect he would be trying to get around Freundel Bomben today, but here he is. Oh, it's quite impressive. I mean, Anthony Logan. Or maybe he did pin him, we just didn't see it. I wonder. Did Anthony Logan pit early in this race and we didn't see it? Maybe he did. Let's compare lap times. I think Matthew Brown's actually being slowed by Freundel Bomben, so lap time isn't really that comparable. Although, that being said, if Matthew Brown's going to win this race, he's going to have to hurry up now. Because if these guys in front of him don't pit, he's going to have to make the moves. And here he goes. He puts the bumper to Freundel Bomben. And Matthew Brown squeezes right on by. Matthew Brown now up to 3rd here at Sandown. He still has a decent amount of laps to make up the time. And now he's got to get around Riley Herbst, a driver with nowhere near as much experience. This race might come down to the wire, though. So Matthew Brown on lap time of 1:09. Meanwhile, Anthony Logan, he's an entire second behind, or an entire second slower, I mean. So you know what? If Matthew Brown can get around Riley Herbst, he can ultimately chase down Anthony Logan and win this race. But he's got 1 more car to pass, so they'd like to get past him here. Oh, not quite. Riley Herbst not giving up. Trying to hold off Matthew Brown on older tires, much older tires now. This is quite the chain of events I didn't quite expect to see today. Wonder if we'll see this again tomorrow. And that being said, the Skills Cup race tomorrow was a bit longer than this one, so it's going to be interesting to see. Although there are a few drivers in this race that are racing in the race tomorrow, such as Freundel Bomben and a couple others. So they're probably trying to get all the practice they can in this race in preparation for tomorrow's race. Matthew Brown, however, a series regular running for the championship, he's still trying to get around Riley Herbst to overtake him and then chase down Anthony Logan. He's got to hurry up, though, because time is starting to run out. So Matthew Brown got to hustle it up and get around Riley Herbst and chase down Anthony Logan. Dear oh dear. Man, Matthew Brown really not liking Riley Herbst in front of him. Ooh, dear. He's going to try here. This might be his best bet here. No, still can't complete the pass. Man, Matthew Brown was leading all those laps. He doesn't want this race to go away just because of this. Just because of a lap down car. Oh, not a lap down car. A slower car, I mean. Not a lap down car. Riley Herbst is in 4th position. Riley Herbst isn't a lap down. Riley Herbst is officially being scored in 2nd place. But now he is holding up Matthew Brown, who is on fresher tires. Granted, though, this isn't, this isn't like unsportsmanlike because this is for position. Riley Herbst has the right to defend his position for second. Matthew Brown doesn't have to agree, but it's legal. Well, that's the whole point of racing. Man, Matthew Brown is now into losing ground on Anthony Logan. He gains a couple seconds or a couple tenths here, but 5 laps to go. And even then, though, man, Matthew Brown, he really can't waste that much time because even after he gets past Riley Herbst, he has to make up an 8-second deficit on Anthony Logan. And man, once again, he just can't get around Riley Herbst. What's up? So Anthony Logan, who we all thought was going to have to make a pit stop, has managed to stay out for as long as possible. So we got some varying strategies here in this race. Drivers on very old tires staying out. As Matthew Brown finally gets around Matty Herbst, do see the overtake again. Do apologize for missing that. Okay, so Matthew Brown on the back end of Riley Herbst on that straightaway, and he's going to have him going to this corner. As Matthew Brown sends it to the inside, and now he gets around Riley Herbst successfully. Riley Herbst trying to keep up, but Riley Herbst just can't quite keep up the position. And after all that, Matthew Brown finally makes it around Riley Herbst. The race is now on. Matthew Brown is going to try to chase down Anthony Logan, but he's got to make up an 8-second deficit in 4 laps. That is going to be a very tall order. So here we go, 4 laps to go. Can Matthew Brown run down Anthony Logan in the Telstra 180 at Sandown? Well, he does. 7-second deficit now. Matthew Brown is significantly faster than Anthony Logan. This could come down to a final lap pass, though. So Anthony Logan, whose tires are probably shot. Anthony Logan, he has stretched out his tires to the best of his ability. However, he's had to rely on slower cars to hold up Matthew Brown. But now Matthew Brown, he's got no more cars holding him up. He is now off and on a mission. So Anthony Logan, who is on much older tires than Matthew Brown. Ooh, man. You've got Anthony Logan on severely worn tires. And Matthew Brown, he's been racing for quite a bit, but his tires are still a lot better than Anthony Logan's. So Anthony Logan, it's going to be interesting. Because you have Anthony Logan. Ooh. It's going to come down to the wire. So what has been a pretty uninteresting race has now become interesting. Pit stops made this race quite a bit interesting. And now, all the interest from that has now added up. And Anthony Logan makes up another 2 seconds. Matthew Brown makes up another 2 seconds. So Matthew Brown, he is gaining ground on Anthony Logan. This is it. This is going to be it. So you've got Anthony Logan on old tires versus Matthew Brown on newer tires. That being said, however, even when Matthew Brown gets to Anthony Logan, Anthony Logan can do his best to keep Matthew Brown behind him until the checkered flag flies. It's going to be interesting to see. So quite a bit of racing and strategy has come down to this. Old tires versus new tires. So Anthony Logan, he's going to have 2 more laps to go this time by, but Matthew Brown is getting closer and closer. Might want to cue the Jaws music here. 2 laps to go at Sandown. Matthew Brown is now just 2 seconds back behind Anthony Logan. It seems like Matthew Brown can make up 2 seconds a lap. So Matthew Brown will most likely be on the back bumper at Anthony Logan when we come around to the white flag. That being said, however, he's now getting to the back bumper of Anthony Logan right now. And here we go. This is the race for the win. Matthew Brown, who made a pit stop. It's definitely benefited by quite a bit compared to Anthony Logan, who didn't pit and has been leading ever since pit stop cycled through. So Anthony Logan, Matthew Brown sends it into the corner. Can't quite get to the back bumper of Anthony Logan though. He's going to try here. It's been hard to pass here at Sandown in most of these corners. However, if you have a better car, it's not really that much of a problem, as been proven. So Anthony Logan in front of Matthew Brown. Matthew Brown doing everything to try to get around Anthony Logan, and Matthew Brown still trying to get excited. White flag, one more lap to go at Sandown. The race is now on. Anthony Logan trying to hold off Matthew Brown. A pair of drivers who still yet to win a race in the season, but one of these two drivers is going to win it for the first time in Australia. And Matthew Brown now getting closer and closer and closer to the back bumper of Anthony Logan, and he sends it to the inside. Matthew Brown with the overtake, but then Anthony Logan might pull off the crossover move. Matthew Brown wants to be right, but Matthew Brown successfully completes the overtake on Anthony Logan. Well, Matthew Brown, who was on much fresher tires, led a number of laps, pitted. And Matthew Brown, though, he thought his race might have been a bit of smoke after he got held up, because it turned out that those cars that were in front of Matthew Brown were not going to pit. So Matthew Brown had to really fight his way through the pack, to get up to this point. But Matthew Brown, he had the fresher tires. He had the car to make his way around. And Matthew Brown, off of the final corner, Matthew Brown plays the best strategy of them all to win the Telstra 180 at Sandown International Raceway. Man, I did not expect to see differing strategies here. But that was quite something. Well, could this be a precursor to what we see in tomorrow's race in the Skills Cup Series? It's going to be interesting to see. So one, we didn't see much passing for the lead at all in this race. Because Matthew Brown, once he got to the lead, he just pulled away. Then he made his pit stop. And you would have thought that the guys in front of him were eventually going to, make their pit stops. But a couple of these guys did make the pit stops, including Anthony Logan. But Matthew Brown is ultimately going to win the day and prove that new tires is faster than old tires. Well, of course it is. But there was, of course, there was the other thing that played into Matthew Brown's, or played against him today. You had some slower cars. He had to get around Fred DeBalbin, and some were wondering if he was going to get around Riley Herbst. And then he had to make up an 8-second deficit. But he did it. And that is how Matthew Brown won today's race. Anthony Logan, however, comes up second. But still a very good day for him. His strategy didn't quite work out to get to victory lane, but it will at least get him as far as second place. And second best, while not as good as first, it still awards you a lot of points. Well, that was quite the race. I will say it was a bit of a dud for the longest time, but once the strategies kicked in, that was the part of the race where things got really interesting. And in the end, it was Matthew Brown who capitalized on this pit stop to make his way up and secure the victory. So, Matthew Brown, of course, went the day with Anthony Logan coming second. Riley Herbst with a third place. Not something I don't think anyone expected to see today, but Herbst with a very good finish today. There's another guy also, just another guy in fourth who also trying to save the season. Dane Blue coming with fifth. Dr. before senior six, still top 10. Freeman is in the home race for him with Fernandez coming second, or Fernandez coming home in seventh. Sebastian Chuckle on eighth, Jose Milos ninth, Michael Lynn at 10th, Brandon Jones 11th, Tyler Samanti 12th, Hendon 13th, Cody Goforth 14th, DJ Reed 15th, Shane Lamp 16th, Edward 17th, Ross Hussein 18th, Austin Dirk 19th, Greg Graff 20th, Nathan Mon 21st, John Doe 22nd, Harrison Byrne 23rd, Harrison Byrne 23rd, Hubi Legs Post 24th, Freeman Chain 25th, Russell David 26th, Chase Briscoe 27th, Rebecca 28th, just nearly 29th, Ryan Zig 30th, Anthony Alfredo 31st, Keith Nico 32nd, Ryan Priest 33rd, Austin Murray 34th, A. Jones 35th, No Greg's 36th, Mike Snyder 37th, Keisha Briggs 38th, Bombard 30th, and Ernie Irvin rounding out the field in last. Well, there you go. That is the Siemens Nationals at Sandown. So it's gonna be interesting for sure to see what strategy plays out in tomorrow's race. But some of these guys in this race, they're already gonna have that practice now for tomorrow's race. It's gonna be interesting to see what they can do then. But That's all for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.